the Lord told Satan, when Satan said, bow down and worship me, Matthew chapter 4, the Lord said to him, it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God and serve him. You see the order? You must worship and then serve. I'm very thankful that I learned that fairly early in my life. I have been serving God for many, many years, 60 years almost full time. And even before that, I started serving the Lord and preaching when I was 23. And that's 62 years ago. And one thing I learned very early in my life, that if I want to effectively serve God, effectively preach God's word, I must be a worshiper first. You shall worship and you shall serve. I want to say that to all of you, those who want to, some brothers here who are very eager to preach. Be careful, brother. Don't have a lust to preach. It is as bad as lusting after women. Did you hear me? The lust to preach, the lust to stand up here and let everybody hear you is as bad as lusting after women. If God makes it such that you have to stand up here, that's different. Let God thrust you here. But if you try to lust after it and you want to be honored, and even in your little house groups, you want to be honored to get up and speak, I can tell you, you will destroy yourself. God kept me in many situations for many years where I was not allowed to preach, and God said, keep your mouth shut and sit there quietly. And I sat and sit quietly, even though I had a gift that could bless others, because I'd done that before. But the Lord said, keep your mouth shut. And the Lord tested me for years to keep my mouth shut when I had a gift to speak. And I know why He was teaching me. He was teaching me to get rid of this lust to preach. When you're young, you have a lust to preach, particularly if you feel you have a gift. And sometimes people who don't even have a gift have a lust to preach. Lay it aside and say, Lord, let me have lust means great desire. Let me have a great desire to worship. And I want to tell you something about worship, because it says here, you cannot serve effectively if you don't worship first. So before you have a great desire to preach to others, please develop the habit of a great desire to be a worshiper. How many people have a great desire to worship? So many people, because in worship you're doing in secret, you don't get any honor. The great desire to preach in public is because we want honor. Kill it. It'll ruin you. I warn you, it'll ruin you. It has ruined many, many young people. It's a different thing when God thrusts you into a position. But worship is in secret, and it's a wonderful thing to do. So I want to tell you something about worship that you understand, which you probably will never hear in any other church, like many other things you hear here. There are 3 steps to worship. First of all, learn to thank God. That's number 1. If you have not developed the habit of thanking, let me tell you the 3: thanksgiving, praise, worship. You hear it? Thanksgiving, praise, worship. Those are 3 different things. So go step by step. Don't jump to the 3rd step. You can't get there. Don't jump to the 2nd step. Start with the first one. Thanksgiving.